so good. Make this. Your family will love you for it. People aren't going to be pissed off at you because they're eating a full cake. Wow. That's exquisite. Hello and welcome back. And today we are going to make mini no-bake Kinder Surprise cheesecakes. The no-bake cheesecake has the classic cheesecake flavor, you know, that New York style. And then with the chocolate and the Kinder Bueno, that graham cracker crust, this is so good. This is perfect. It's kind of an easy recipe to make. Doesn't take too much time other than the chilling in the fridge. And the kids and the family, the grandparents will love it. So let's get into it. Now, the absolute first thing you want to do before you get started on anything is you're going to take your cream cheese out of the fridge and you're going to let it soften on the counter. This is going to make this cheesecake so much easier to make, so much easier to cream together. So just before you even make the crust or anything, put it out on the counter and let it sit and come to room temperature. The first thing we want to do here is we want to grab a muffin tin, ideally with 12 muffin slots. So this does make a little bit more than 12 mini cheesecakes. So you can also grab another 6 muffin tin pan or another 12. You can also make those 12 mini cheesecakes and just eat the rest of your cheesecake batter out of the bowl. Personal preference. And we're just gonna line them with some muffin things, muffin parchment paper things. What's great about this recipe is they fit pretty perfectly in the muffin tin and they just make like this perfect little kind of like bite-sized no-bake cheesecake, and I just love that. With the mini cheesecakes, it just feels like the right and perfect amount. So this part is pretty simple. You're just gonna grab just like a classic muffin or a cupcake and just line each tin with the paper. I don't know what these are called, obviously. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside for a moment and we're gonna make our crusts. Okay, so for these crusts, I am making them with graham crackers. You can also make them with like crushed Oreos, any kind of digestive type cookies, or I mean, you could use Biscoff. It might be a little bit of a weird taste, but I like the graham crackers, so we're gonna do graham crackers, but feel free to use any kind of cookie that you want. So we are going to crush up our cookies. I like to just use a blender for it. You can also just put them in a Ziploc bag and kind of pound them, whatever your personal preference. And then we're gonna add our brown sugar and our melted butter. Mix that, and we're gonna put them into our individual mini cheesecake slots. If you are using a blender like I am, don't mix them for too long because you still want there to be like a crumb. You don't want it to be like too fine, like wet sand or like sand, sorry. You still want some kind of something that's going to keep it intact. Essentially something that's going to bind with the butter. Okay, so you're going to add your 2 tablespoons of butter. Give that a nice mix so that it's all well incorporated. And now you can add in your melted butter. Give that a nice mix. You do want it to look like wet sand. It does need to be a little bit sticky just because it needs to create a nice crust that's going to bind. So if you find yours is a little bit drier, you can add a little bit more butter. Now that our crust base has been made, we are going to put them into our lined muffin tins. You're gonna use about 1 to 2 tablespoons per. Place the crust inside and then just gently press down on it, and then you're gonna let that set in the fridge while you make the cheesecake. and just grab your shot glass or whatever you're using to flatten it out, and just flatten it out on the bottom of the muffin tin. Gently but firmly. You want to make sure it makes a nice crust here. Okay, so now that our crusts are all flattened out, we are just gonna put this in the fridge to let them set while we make the no-bake cheesecakes. Okay, now let's make the no-bake cheesecake. So for this part, the first thing you want to do is you want to grab whatever chocolate that you're using. I have little mini Kinder eggs that I'm going to use for the inside of this cheesecake, and I'm going to use some of this Kinder Bueno on top. But either way, whichever chocolate you're using, you want to take the chocolate out of its casing. The words are not coming to me today. I'm having a hard time with words. You're going to need 200 grams of whatever chocolate and just take it out. Like, these are gonna be super annoying because they're small and they all have their own wrapping. That's it, their own wrapping around it. So just take a minute to get all of the chocolate out of its wrapping, and then we will get on to making the actual no-bake cheesecakes. Let's see how long, oh my God, how long is this gonna take? This is gonna take forever. You don't have to use these mini eggs. This is just kind of what inspired me to make this recipe. I saw these at the store and I was like, oh, I gotta make something with these. But you can use the bigger ones, you know, the ones that have like the toys in them. I'm sure they're easier to get out of their wrapping and more satisfying. Okay, so now that our chocolates are all taken out of their wrapper, we are going to put these in the microwave. We're gonna melt them down, put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, give it a nice mix, and then you want to microwave in 10-second increments until the chocolate is fully melted. The reason why we do 10-second increments after that is because the chocolate can very easily burn in the microwave, so you really want to be careful, especially if you're using a glass bowl. So pop this in the microwave, 30 seconds, give it a nice mix, and then 10-second increments, give it a nice mix in between each increment until it's nice and silky and all melted. So this is after 30 seconds. You can see at the bottom of the bowl, it's starting to melt a little bit. See how quickly it happens? You can also feel the temperature of your bowl that you're using. If it's warm, it will kind of melt the chocolate that's at the bottom. And then you can pop it in the microwave for another 10 seconds. This is after another 10 seconds. Really make sure you're kind of scraping the bottom of the bowl, because that's where most of the chocolate is going to melt, and that's where it's going to burn. Ooh, nice. It's really starting to melt here. Let's see how much. I might have to do it just one more time. Okay. That's very nice. This looks so good. Okay, so this looks good. There's no clumps or anything. It's all kind of melted. This looks so good, and this is gonna go in the cheesecake batter. Yum. Okay, so now that the crusts are in the fridge, they're done, we've melted our chocolate, we are going to make cheesecake batter. So you're gonna need a large bowl. You're gonna place your softened cream cheese in this bowl. Just grab a spatula or a spoon and you're just gonna beat it for about a minute to get it to that nice creamy silky texture. And you're going to add in most of your other ingredients, your heavy cream until you get nice stiff peaks. You're gonna fold it into your cheesecake batter, and then the mini cheesecakes are ready to be assembled in their muffin tins on top of the crust. Okay, so we have our room temperature cream cheese, and we're just going to give it a nice little kind of mix here. Okay, so from here we can add in our lemon juice, our maple syrup, our vanilla, and just give that a nice good kind of mix here until it's all well and incorporated. This is gonna help kind of also get the cream cheese to a softer, creamier consistency. can also use a standing mixer for this part. It's probably easier on your arms. Now we can go ahead and add in our chocolate. Give that a nice good mix here. That's all nice and mixed. So now we're gonna add in our powdered sugar, ideally with a sifter if you can. This just really helps to eliminate any kind of clumps. And just give that a nice mix here until it's all nicely incorporated. Just try to be gentle because the sugar does fly around everywhere. Oh, this smells so good. Smell the chocolate. So we're gonna set this aside for a moment and whisk the heavy cream. Pouring your heavy cream inside of it, and you're just gonna whisk this until you get stiff peaks. Okay, so our heavy cream is ready. It could probably be a bit stiffer peaks, but this will do just fine. Kind of holding like this. Yeah, that's perfect actually. So now we're gonna grab our whipped cream and we're gonna fold it into our cheesecake mixture here. For this part, you do want to fold the whipped cream in increments. So grabbing like a kind of spatula full and then folding it in until it's nicely incorporated, and then grabbing another kind of spoonful just to not kind of pop the bubbles and the air out of your whipped cream, because that's what's going to give it that nice kind of light and airy texture to these cheesecakes. Okay, so again, just grabbing a spoonful of your whipped cream and just kind of folding it in gently to not pop all the air out or the bubbles, and just do this until it's incorporated. You'll see like the white of the cream, the whipped cream will kind of disappear when it's this, and gently fold it in. Okay, and now we can just add the remaining of the whipped cream and just gently folding it in to make that beautiful chocolate Kinder no-bake cheesecake batter. This looks so good. I'm so excited. This is kind of the texture you're gonna get here. Oh, beautiful, velvety, creamy, but also light and airy cheesecake. Okay, so now that our cheesecake batter is ready to go, we can go ahead and grab our prepped cake crust muffin tin. Beautiful, all nice and ready to go. And we're gonna scoop tablespoons of our no-bake cheesecake into each muffin tin. Now for this part, I like to use my ice cream scoop. Again, you can also place the cheesecake batter in a piping bag or a Ziploc bag and cut the tip off and kind of pipe it into the muffin tins if you like. Really personal preference. You basically just want to fill each muffin tin to the top of your muffin tin. Oh, these look like they're gonna be so good. I'm really excited. What I love about no-bake cheesecake is just how easy it is to make, for one, and also not having to worry about baking, right? Like, it's just so easy to not have to put something in the oven, and it's just kind of super simple. All right, these are ready to set in the fridge. Okay, so our cheesecakes have set. We can take them out of the fridge. We're just gonna take the plastic wrap off gently, take them out of their little tins, and then we can make the ganache and finish these off. So you can just gently pull off the plastic wrap. A little bit will stick. The longer you let it set in the fridge, the less it will stick. These have been in the fridge for like 3 hours. Oh, this is super unconventional, but I'm just using like tweezers, basically. And I'm just gonna pull it out because they are like a little fragile. Okay, that didn't work. Ideally, you're like trying to not pull too much because it will kind of deform them maybe a little bit. So you can just take them out and place them like on a plate. And again, just trying to be like gentle with them. I'm using tweezers here. There, trying to keep the shape. Beautiful. So it's easier to just, well, these are gonna come out really easily out of their shells. Okay, so we have successfully saved our mini cheesecakes from the muffin tin. Now we can go ahead and make the ganache and top these. Okay, so now we can go ahead and make the Kinder Ganache. I'm gonna use Kinder Bueno for this part. I've actually never tasted these before. There's almost like a peanut butter in there. Pretty good. Need about 200 grams of these plus some chopped ones if you want to kind of garnish on top, and 120 grams of heavy cream. Unpackage these, and we're just gonna like not chop them up, but just kind of break them apart, and then we'll pour our warm heavy cream on top, and we'll kind of melt it together and then pour them on the mini cheesecake. So we're just gonna zap this in the microwave real quick, get it to a nice warm temp, maybe like 30-40 seconds. And grab our Kinder Bueno, nice little chunkies. Pour your warmed up heavy cream on top. Let that sit for like a minute. Okay, so this has been simmering a little bit. I have to put this in the microwave again. Okay, I just put this back in for like 10 seconds. Just in for another kind of 20 seconds. Okay, now grab your mini cheesecakes. About a tablespoon of your ganache on top. So just right on top there. I'm just trying to keep it like within the cupcake holder if you can. Oh, these are gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Ooh, how good do these look? Okay, so now you can go ahead and add your additional Kinder Bueno. Roughly chopping it and adding the pieces on top. Ooh, very nice. Oh, these are so cute. These are freaking adorable. I can't wait to try them. Like, how cute would these be on a platter at an Easter dinner party? Okay, so we're gonna try to let these set in the fridge, let the ganache set for like an hour, and then we can dig in. Oh, these look so good. Wow, I'm excited. Okay, so these have been setting for about an hour in the fridge. You want to let them set for at least 2 hours with the ganache, but I just can't wait and I just want to try these. So you can take them out before if you want. Oh my god, look at how adorable. You can just take them out gently, take them out of their kind of casing, muffin casing. Oh my. And at this point you just want to gently kind of pull on it, but you don't want to destroy it either, right? Just because it's a little tender. Oh, I mean, look at that. Beautiful. And this is why you kind of want to let it set a little bit longer in the fridge. It does get a little bit more set when you leave it in the fridge for longer. Like, it's kind of like, okay, Let's dig in. Can't see. We're gonna use a spoon because we don't need. Oh, wow. See, yeah, you wanna let the ganache set as well. Wow. That's exquisite. That's really good. Such a perfect Easter treat. I mean, look at that. The No-Bake Cheesecake has the classic cheesecake flavor, you know, that New York style. And then with the chocolate and the Kinder Bueno, this is so good. So good. Make this. Your family will love you for it. People aren't gonna be pissed off at you because they're eating a full cake. Wow. And for the storage on these, instead of putting them kind of like face up in the container, actually grab the cover of your container. And then you're gonna place your mini cheesecakes on top like that. And then you can just place the actual container on top. And these will be good in the fridge. And then whenever you want them, you can just open them like this. And that way you're not kind of like finicking around with the actual cheesecakes too much. And then you can also kind of stack them so they're not taking up too much room in your fridge. Just a better way of doing it.